Greetings and good morning. Hopefully this works. Not driving. All right, if it keeps doing that, we're just not going to do this. I decided to let them go to the park before we go to work. What is interesting this morning, there was other things I wanted to talk about, but then I got a comment that I usually get on one of the videos when I had a little bit more time. Where can I put you guys? Let me see where I can put you. I didn't bring anything to think. Anyway, one of the videos when I had a little bit more time to be a little bit more abreast on what was going on. And it always gets comments and it always gets people commenting and telling me, who was just reporting on what I had found, to get over it. Telling the people in the comment section to get over it. It was a particular video where something went viral, well, with a man finding out that his four parents, his actually four mothers, were enslaved. Um, was it that one? Where they were enslaved, and then he realized that his distant cousin was a European who still lived in the house that his foreparents were enslaved in. I think that was the one. So he goes to go and meet his distant cousins, okay? And I make commentary on the video. Now, you could go see it for yourself. But, there's so many things that people say. People are upset. There's so many emotions that it elicits that it's just always interesting to see how people deal or not deal or don't deal with the feelings it brings up. And one of the reoccurring things is get over it. Usually it's a European, I just have to be honest, and usually it's a male. Sometimes they're European females, but it's like, or there are other people, we had slavery here, there, and everywhere. And they're like, get over it. It's easy for people or the oppressor. This is a tool for people who have or feel guilty for being associated with or participating in the oppression of another person or another people group in this case, to dismiss their claims and their experiences as less than and as something that they need to get over because the time for it has passed. This is, like I said, this is not something that's going to help to heal anything. The fact that this particular issue or this particular concern is still very present, it's be still very relevant, is something that indicates that nobody really has gotten over it. You understand? It is something that still dictates public policy. It's something that still dictates news media. It's something that still dictates a lot of the things that we're seeing. This initial trauma or this initial injury is part of the reason why there's so much confusion, especially here in the Western Hemisphere. So I find it interesting that people can debate on topics in politics of, pointing the finger and calling people out their name and saying who is maybe racist or who systematic oppression. These things wouldn't be a conversation if society had gotten over it, right? These things wouldn't be a conversation if it had been dealt with. So apparently, those very same people who are asking others to get over it, to sit properly, please, have not gotten over it. They're still using the mindset, the thought process, the advantages that this type of system created to acquire wealth, to um, govern society, to do what it is that people feel uncomfortable. I'm going to swing, y'all. I go on the swing to the park. And they say, get over it. Get over it. Why don't you get over it? You can get over it. I'm like, really? Get over what? What is the it? Wee, I want to swing. What is the it that one is supposed to be getting over? Just what? A few weeks ago, they released what do you call it? They released Antebellum. And I took them, like I said, I watched the movie. But it's something that is referring to people in the movie who haven't got over it. And as a matter of fact, they haven't got over it so much that the nostalgia of it caused them to create a whole movement of wanting to take people back to it. So, who is saying get over it? And why are you asking others who did not benefit it to get over it, but yet still those who have benefited from the it are still benefiting from the it? But they shouldn't feel guilty or upset or indifferent about doing so. Again, my observations of this can happen in a family, this can happen in a relationship, this can happen anywhere. Like I said, it's a tool to control the narrative, to silence those who may have been abused, to make the abuser comfortable, and to negate other people's experience. It's not necessarily going to help to get to where America may possibly be trying to get to. You have to address it. It is the foundational sin of this. You cannot have America without talking about slavery. It's impossible. You cannot separate the two. It is in the very fabric of, why is this child chasing the squirrel? Why are you chasing the squirrel? It is in the very fabric of the country. It's actually the Western Hemisphere. You cannot have South America without talking about slavery. You cannot have the Caribbean without talking about slavery. It's in the foundation. It's not even in the house as yet. It's in the house, it's in the walls, it's in the roof, it's in the foundation. It is the foundation. It's not even really in the foundation. It is the foundation. So part of my healing work in the community has been to talk about these very difficult topics, these topics that make us uncomfortable, and make it okay for somebody to come and say, hey, get over it, but also make it okay to address that and say, you don't have the right to tell the person who has received the injury that they should get over it. The person who crashes into somebody else, and that other person is injured. Can I'm saying, until justice is served, until you get one of the ambulance chases, until you go to court, until you are compensated for the damage that was done, you do not have the right to come by to somebody's house or somebody's job or somebody's whoever, sending them mail, emails, videos, telling them, hey, you should be over it now. You should get over it. I mean, where we do this at? Where do we do this at? So that's just my quick thoughts on it. I see it didn't go out today, so that's hallelujah for that. I'm not going to stay very long, but what are your thoughts? Have you heard this thought process for you to get over it? It was a question. It was a question in these debates that are happening just yesterday. The pointing of the finger and saying this person is a racist. Being racist wouldn't have any bearing unless it meant something in the society. For somebody to say, hey, denounce this organization, you have to know the history of the organization. And why would somebody need to denounce something that's no longer relevant? Therefore, the quest for the president, vice president, and whomever to denounce people, organization, and ideologies means that it still has relevance. It's not. I don't really necessarily want to go down this slippery slope right now. But yeah, I wish I could read the comment right now, but it's over there. Let me see. Hold on, let me see. Hold on, my little glasses and everything. Hold up. Let's see what homie said. I don't think I can read it from here. If I come off of here, then I won't see you guys. Ooh. Yeah, disconnected. So with that said, that's just my thoughts. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. So again, to bring it on home, not just in relation to, you know, slavery. It could just be somebody was abused at home, or a parent didn't protect their child, or they injured them during childhood, or the husband abused the wife, or the wife abused the husband. And when they come into talks of expressing what has happened to them, you may hear this verbiage, and just understand that this verbiage is oftentimes dismissive. It oftentimes seeks to silence the abused, and it negates their experience so that the oppressor or the abuser or the offender can feel comfortable in oppressing, abusing, and exploiting. So that's a little tool in our shed to listen for key words and trigger words to see where that particular person is coming from. And sometimes you engage, and sometimes you just disengage and be like, I see you, and I don't really got no time for you today. Right? But anyway, let me see the time. Thank everybody for tuning in. I was talking about yesterday, family. What was it? I had to erase it because the internet was tripping. But it was like my husband doesn't like my family or friends, so I'll have to come back and video that one again because it was tripping. All right, one.